The last transmission from Waystation Cora 7 lasted 4 seconds. I have listened to it 1,100 times. A maintenance supervisor named Pel Orvath, 43 years old, former merchant marine, 2 daughters in school on Kessel Station, said 7 words before the atmospheric feed cut. Something's wrong with the air. Summith. Then the feed stopped, the way a candle stops, not blown out, just gone. Life support on Cora 7 had not malfunctioned, it had executed. I am Commander Darius Vale, Fleet Intelligence, embedded aboard SFIS Ardent Measure. I am writing this log not because I expect need a record. The Obsidian Compact will produce enough documentation to fill a small moon. But because I spent 20 years as a colonial logistics officer, and I knew people on 3 of the 17 stations. I am writing it because I want there to be, somewhere, a document that states plainly what was done before the account gets filed under campaign history and read in classrooms 100 years from now. By people who will not have heard Pel Orvath's 7 words. What was done? The Vareth Syndicate embedded autonomous kill logic into the life support architecture of 17 human deep space Waystation colonies. Not a weapon deployed from outside. A protocol buried inside the systems that scrubbed the air, cycled the water, maintained pressure. Every station had been serviced by Syndicate contracted infrastructure firms over the preceding 4 years. The servicing was real, professional, and thorough. So was the payload they left behind. Over 11 months, 1 station at a time, the embedded protocol executed. Doors sealed, vents rerouted. Atmospheric processors switched from scrub cycle to purge cycle. 340,000 civilians, dock workers, teachers, medical staff, children, retirees, cargo clerks, baristas. A violinist I had shared a meal with on Harrow Station in 2291. Were processed out of existence by the infrastructure they trusted to keep them alive. The Syndicate's official position, as recorded in the after-action document their administrative council filed with the Galactic Transit Authority, was that the Waystation colonies occupied prime transit corridors that the Syndicate had registered developmental claims on in 2244. The human colonial charters, issued in 2251, were noted as administratively irregular. Purge was categorized as a corridor resource resolution action. The document used the word unfortunate once, in reference to the timeline. It did not use the word killed. I read that document 116 times in the 3 weeks after it was intercepted. I was the analyst who confirmed its authenticity. I was the one who walked it into the authorization chamber and laid it on the table in front of Admiral Senna Korath and the 4 senior fleet commanders. I did not editorialize. Read the relevant section aloud and set the document down and stepped back. The room was quiet for 11 seconds, I counted. Admiral Korath said, "Being the compact." That was the entirety of the diplomatic phase. I want to be precise about what the Obsidian Compact is, because the Syndicate's diplomatic staff spent considerable effort in the weeks that followed, trying to characterize it as a disproportionate response and appealing to the Transit Authority for intervention. The Compact is Earth's war instrument of last resort. Not its largest fleet configuration, but its most final one. 600 warships, drawn from all 3 fleet commands. Full expeditionary marine complement. No forward diplomatic channel. No cease and negotiate protocol. No proportional response calculator built into the engagement orders. The Compact does not arrive to negotiate terms. It arrives because the act that triggered it was judged to have removed the option of negotiation from the table. 340,000 dead in 11 months, processed through their own life support systems, categorized in a filing document as an administrative resolution. The Authorization Committee deliberated for 9 minutes. I have never heard of a shorter deliberation in Compact history. Assembly took 42 days. I spent most of them at my station on the Ardent Measure, logging the intelligence package that would serve as the operational brief for every ship, capped in the formation. I cataloged every Syndicate installation in the 3-star systems our orders covered, their coordinates, their defensive configurations, their communications infrastructure, their power grids. I was meticulous because I am always meticulous, and because the names on the casualty rolls from the 17 stations were in a file on the same terminal. And every time I cross-referenced an installation, I could see that file in the corner of the screen, and I prefer to have something precise and useful to do with my hands. Cora 7, Harrow Station, Midden Reach, Pole Secundus. The Kessler Waypoints. 17 stations, 4 years of embedded preparation, 11 months of execution. I knew a cargo inspector on Midden Reach, physician on Pole Secundus whose paper on vacuum exposure treatment I had cited in a training brief, the violinist. Pell Orveth had 2 daughters, and who said 7 words. The Ardent Measure dropped from transit at 0412 hours, Vareth primary system, with the full compact kit formation behind her. 597 additional warships. 18 carrier groups. I watched the scope from my station as the formation resolved. It takes time coming out of transit for the sensors to calibrate. For a few seconds, the scope was full of static, and then it was full of ships stretching back across the system. And I thought about the Syndicate Administrative Council sitting in their installation on the primary body, watching their own sensors show them the same thing. They hailed us at 0431. The message was routed to the flag bridge. I was present. A voice I did not recognize, speaking through a translator matrix, said that the Syndicate wished to open formal dialogue regarding the transit corridor dispute and acknowledged that the administrative resolution action had resulted in civilian casualties and expressed the Syndicate's willingness to discuss reparative frameworks within the Transit Authority's mediation structure. Admiral Korath did not respond. She looked at the communications officer and made a small gesture with her left hand. The channel was closed. She looked at the formation commander's screen and said, "All elements execute." What followed took 4 hours and 9 minutes. I did not watch most of it. I had work to do: real-time damage assessment, formation coordination support, secondary installation confirmation as each one went off the board. I logged each strike as it was reported. There were 112 installations in the 3 systems. When the last one was confirmed destroyed, I marked the log entry at 0821 hours and set my stylus down and sat for a moment looking at the screen. 340,000 dead. And the people who killed them were now a notation in the same kind of after-action document they had filed about us. Except ours would not use the word unfortunate, and ours would not call it a resolution. I pulled up the casualty file one more time and looked at the 17 station names. Then I closed it, encrypted the intelligence package, and filed my operational report. It was thorough and accurate, and ran to 47 pages. In the section marked Analyst Assessment, under the heading Future Risk, I wrote 4 words: there is no future risk.